Hey, welcome back to the SOS Season 3. This is the week 1. We're battling against Sky this week. So, yeah, fun times. Okay. So in the team prep, I'll go over it with you. I already have done it, but yeah. So I pretty much started with I knew I wanted day 6 because, like, if you see it, what's left is basically Jangmo, Rufflet, Cleffa, and Slugma, right? And none of those except for Jangmo doesn't really do much aside from just being Jangmo, you know? So it could have been something to bring, but if it's there, it's just there to just hit everything for neutral. So could have been a good bring actually with some Dragon Dance now when I think back at it, but yeah. So I brought Drillbur, Magnemite, Jupiter, Pawniard, Coughing, and Hippopotas, as you can see here. So Kava Berry is especially for Rufflet, or if Scorbunny wants to change from Protean into a flying type. Then I can hit them with Ice Beam. Power Split is it can be for Rufflet on the switch in. It can be for Squirtle on the Shell Smash. It can be for Dragon Dance Scraggy, stuff like that. Like, as long as I'm not in like super danger, I know I can live a hit, or I do it on the switch, then Power Split takes my 40 attack stat and it replaces it basically with a higher base attack stat that makes me deal more damage, and it's like takes their base power down as well. So that's very good against like Scorbunny, Rufflet, Squirtle, stuff like that. It's some sort of pressure. Sticky Web is there for lowering the speed of everybody, especially like Scorbunny is a problem. Liquid can be a problem. So yeah, it just hits everything. It's nice. It makes the Scraggy have a harder time doing Dragon Dance as well. But it depends on the game state, right? Depends on when Jupiter comes in and stuff like that. So, and then we have the Sandcore, Drillbur, Hippopotas, have the Smooth Rock, because I'm not sure how many times Hippopotas can come in. So I just want to make sure that I have sand for the longest amount of time possible, and I'm just going to pretty much bank on the fact that it comes in once, if I'm lucky maybe twice, right? So Smooth Rock is there if I have to do some stuff in between getting Drillbur out on the field. So yeah, it's kind of hard in that sense, but it's better than nothing. It was either Smooth Rock or Rocky Helmet. I think it's fine. He's probably going to realize that this is probably, excuse me, very physically defensive and try to hit it with some special moves. So, Pawniard is pretty standard. Shuckaberry, I don't know if Shuckaberry was the right item to bring here, because it's for what? It's for Baltoy that you're already faster than, or yeah. So or you speed time with him. So yeah. Might be for Nose Pass. I don't know if it gets any ground, but I don't know if Chople will save me either, because it's like Scraggy, I'm dead. Scorbunny with HJK, I'm probably still dead. Elekid with some Drain Punch, okay, I'm getting 2-shot, and I can't one-shot him, stuff like that. So Shuckaberry was the wrong item here, but it was one of the best things I can think of at the time, because I was really scared of Baltoy. I wanted to try to get that out some way, somehow, and you see that with this Magnemite as well, right? I tried to put Simple Beam instead of Flash Cannon, didn't work because it's illegal. So we have Flash Cannon here, and that ended up being my what fucked Magnemite pretty hard, because Signal Beam is a 2-shot, Flash Cannon is a 3-shot, and so on. Magnet Rise is there for when Baltoy switches in, because I'm not faster than it, so I have to try to predict it coming in with Magnet Rise, or I use Magnet Rise and he knows it's up, but he switches in Baltoy anyway. It kind of becomes one or two things, but Baltoy will be one of the primary switch-ins for Magnemite, so I don't think that will be too hard of a prediction. And anyway, I still have Magnet Rise up for other ground things, so it's pretty nice. Recycle, Sturdy Berry Juice, so brings me down. Recycle, or uses Berry Drip, gets back up. Recycle it, so I can just keep that process going and going. The only thing that Magnemite is very weak to then is like weak hits, right? So if something uses like resisted things like Ice Beam or normal moves or stuff like that, and then it's like sort of Sturdy won't proc on it. Sturdy won't proc on it, but at the same time, right? Sturdy won't proc, but Sturdy won't proc, and I can just be killed straight off after that. So I think the better set that was to go here was probably Choice Scarf Analytic. I think was better here. Like, I think that would have done so much for me here, because he would probably think that I'm sturdy the way that I have to play Magnemite in this matchup, whilst as the Analytic set will do a lot more damage. And he can play around that, but it will still do a lot of damage. So the problem comes only if he can't kill me, or if I can't kill him, rather. Next up is Coughing. We do have Neutralizing Gas, because Levitate is like against Baltoy, he's just gonna use psychic moves anyway, and so yeah, it's not really that useful. He doesn't have that much ground coverage, so that's why the Shucky Berry is kind of like, you know, I kind of would like to go Eviolite or some other thing on there. So yeah, maybe we should have gone something else, but that's fine. Thunderbolt for the coverage, because his main core is Rufflet Squirtle, which Thunderbolt covers both of them, and it's also neutral on Score Bunny, so that's most of the time, so that's fine. Shadow Ball was there for Baltoy, because if I only run Thunderbolt, then it gets walled by Baltoy, and we can't have that, because Psychic is one of the primary counters to Coughing. So we go Neutralizing Gas. It will nullify a couple of things. It will nullify Score Bunny's Libero, which is pretty damn nice. It will nullify Baltoy's Levitate. That's not that. It's okay. It's not like I'm not in any ground, so that's fine. It will nullify Nose Passes, Sturdy, or Magnet Pull, which is pretty nice. It will nullify Elekid's Static. I don't think he'll go Vital. The Vital ability to prevent sleep. It will nullify Squirtle's Torrent, which is like whatever, but it will nullify Rufflet's Hustle or Sheer Force. It will make Rufflet lose a lot of power, like a lot of power, if I get to neutralize that. So even if it's banded, it's probably going to be like a 2-shot. Yeah, maybe not even that. Depends on the move, right? But it's gonna take away his damage boosting ability, which is nice. So it goes for Score Bunny and stuff like that. So that's fine. I could also go Stench, but like the 10% chance is so slim, and it's so low, and it's so slow that I almost never get to go first anyway. So yeah. Okay. Yawn is there. Rock Tomb is there for like switch-ins that get minus speed. It's also there if we have Yawn for if Squirtle wants to set up a Shell Smash in our face. Then he can kill off my Hippopotas, then he falls asleep. We have Stock Off for recovery. Earthquake just for stab. This is just like a Rock Slide Earthquake. This is like until Baltoy's gone set to sweep. Because if we get Baltoy away, then this just wrecks the entire team. And then we have the Poniard with the Sucker Punch knockoff. Protect for HJK Score Bunny. Because if he doesn't want to use a fire move, he wants to use a fighting move, and we can just use Protect. And it's also for Rufflet to protect, because it's probably banded or scarfed. So we can protect and see what he wants to do and switch accordingly, or sack accordingly, or play accordingly. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of, I think protect on Poniard is super good bring here. The only regret I have is like the Shuckaberry on this one, probably. And you'll see throughout the match how it goes. So let me bring up the replay. I think the replay is here. Let's reset this. Okay. So here's the replay. So from my perspective, this is my perspective. I see immediately that there's no score bunny here, which kind of like it confuses me a little, but at the same time it's not like, okay, I can see why he didn't bring it, but at the same time it would have done a lot of work. So I'm thinking banded scarf on Rufflet. I'm thinking nose pass is just like a tank with stealth rock, just like a physically defensive tank who's there to absorb hits, maybe have like some earth move for Magnemite and Poniard. It also gets Magnet Pull, right? So it can have like, it can trap Poniard and do some, I don't know, does it get a fighting move? Does it get a fighting move? I don't remember. Yeah, because it has 30 Magnet Pull. Sand Force as well, actually. But it's pretty slow, so. What was the fighting? Okay, so it does get Dynamic Punch and Rock Smash, I guess, but it's not like super duper, yeah, whatever. And it has rock moves for Jupiter, so. I was thinking his best lead is either Rufflet or Squirtle. Rufflet or Squirtle are his best leads here, because Squirtle is the kind of thing that where if I lead the wrong thing, he gets a free shell smash and the game is just over. Okay? So, because if I lead Jupiter, the only thing I have against shell smash is Power Trick, and same for Rufflet. I get an Ice Beam off maybe and then I just die, right? So Jupiter is not the lead here. Poniard, it's like, it's against Squirtle, so maybe I get a knockoff, but like he gets the shell smash and then I probably cannot kill him. And if he leads Rufflet, he can just either superpower, Scarf Superpower, or Scarf U-turn on me, and then yeah, stuff like that. Then Poniard is just dead, or he gets free momentum, so that's not the lead. Drillbur is kind of the same. It's a ground type, so he gets washed by Squirtle. Cannot like lead against that, and he gets U-turn on for free. So yeah, there were kind of a lot of things there. So my leads are either Coughing or Magnemite, right? If I lead Coughing, I get the cool ability negate, and I can start doing stuff. Or that's also another thing. I kind of wish I brought T-Spikes, because T-Spikes does a lot. It hits 5 of them. So, but I chose to lead Magnemite, and he, as you can see here, he leads Rufflet, right? So we have Magnemite against Rufflet. It's my advantage because it's electric on flying. But I did realize the fact that if he clicks U-turn on me, either he can like do like something to, he can use a normal move or flying move to kind of just like chip me so that I don't get my berry juice, and then he can kill me after. But he's probably Banded or Scarf, right? Which means that if he uses superpower, he's just gonna bring me down to sturdy. I get full HP again, and then I kill him with Thunderbolt or something like that, right? So his best move here is 100% U-turn. You get the same chip, you get the momentum, everything like that. So I knew that was coming 100%. So I'm switching out Magnemite here. I'm not risking Magnemite getting chipped here for that. So I switched into Hippopotas. Looking back, I could have made the bold Poniard play. I could have also gone into Coughing to resist it, but then I wouldn't have had the neutralizing gas on the switch in. So I think maybe I actually would have. But Rufflet is one of those I want to negate it for. So I set up this hand with a Smooth Rock, so it's out for 8 turns. He goes U-turn out. I see what he's going to do. He goes out into Squirtle, and here's the thing that, like, if he clicks Shell Smash here, he is in an enormous advantageous position. This is why I have Yawn on it. because this is a point where like if I switch out, I'm going to take a lot of damage. The only thing I can switch to here is Jupiter, but Squirtle gets like rock coverage, so it's not like the most advantageous one. And what do I do if I go out to Jupiter? I go out and do Sticky Web, and he has double Rapid Spin and one that negates it. Nah, that's not like the kind of, that's not the, if he brought Score Bunny, I would have considered it, but he didn't, so nah, not there. So I kind of just have to sack this, get some free momentum, and Squirtle is going to give me a pretty advantageous position. So I'm clicking Yawn here. He kills me with Scald, understandably, but that means like I'm fine with this because he didn't click Shell Smash, okay? So either he has the Shell Smash boosts and is asleep now, he switched out, or he kills me with Scald. So that's fine. I go into Magnemite again because there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do against. We speed tie, but there's like, if he wants to hit me, he either has to chip me and let his Squirtle go, or he has to switch and hit. And here's the thing I talked about in Team Prep, right? So let me just switch this mode to Dark. I'm sorry for that. Okay. So here, what is his switch into Magnemite? The only things that take Magnemite's dual stab are Elekid and Ball Toy. Okay? But what does Elekid do once it's out? It hits a fighting move, and I can switch right out to Jupiter. Or probably just coughing, you know? Coughing, because Jupiter doesn't take electric that well. Or you can go out into Ball Toy and get free Stealth Rocks, or get a Rapid Spin off in case I'm switching, double switching, or whatever. So his best switch here is Ball Toy 100%. Because he's thinking the Thunderbolt is coming 100%. Or maybe like a 90%. So on that Ball Toy switch, we go Magnet Rise. So suddenly, I now wall this Ball Toy because he can't use his stab against me. So I wall this, and this is where Signal Beam would have been so good, man. And I'll show you why, right? Because I go Flash Cannon, which would have done my minimum 50% with Signal Boom. It would have been like 50-60%, and then I would have killed him. So now he gets 2 turns. He goes Rapid Spin to chip me. You know, he chips me because he doesn't want... He chips me because he doesn't want me to get the berry juice, starting berry juice thing going. And then he goes Stealth Rock because he now outspeeds me due to the Rapid Spin. So he gets a lot for free. I try to predict him to switch out here with a Thunderbolt. That was a big mistake by me, but I was thinking, okay, like, he knows he's just stuck here and I can Flash Cannon him to death. And I thought that Ball Toy, since it's so valuable in the fact that it can kill Coughing, it can pressure Drill Burr, it can do all kinds of stuff like that, right? So I thought that this was way too valuable for him to just set up rocks and let it die. But then I just thought, okay, let me just... and then I saw Psychic, and then I was like, okay, so he's gonna let this thing go. And that's fine, right? So he was just like, very fine with letting this thing go. And then Magnet Rise goes out, and I'm afraid of the earth, of like the ground stab. No, not stab, ground move, because I'm 4 times weak and it's gonna kill me. So I just go Magnet Rise to set that up. He goes Rock Polish, and I'm thinking, okay, but what are you really going to hit Magnemite with, you know? So Sand fades, which means that I will never get Sand up again for Drill Burr, which is like, it's going to hurt me a lot later on. I go Flash Cannon. It still does almost 40% resistant, which is pretty nice actually. And then I see I know like the fighting moves coming. I can try to switch out and preserve it for later, but like that, which is, to be honest with you, it's probably what I should have done here, because if I switch in on rocks enough time, I get the berry juice back up, and then it becomes like a fully functional Magnemite again. So that's probably what I should have done, preserved it for other stuff. But it's like he has Earth coverage on that. He has fighting here. Squirtle can do a lot to it. Scraggy just demolishes it. So yeah, it was like I was like fine letting this go. And then I see that he's Life Orb. Like that little tick right there, that means Life Orb. And I'm like, okay, so he's super fast. But I know that Ice Punch does like 90% max. Ice Punch does 90% max. So unless he crits me, I'm fine. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, I tank this Ice Punch. I'm like going to be super down, but then we get away his leg kid. And here's where I do the biggest mistake of my life, man. Like really, really solid, sick ass dumb mistake. I should not have clicked Earthquake because I knew he didn't want to trade that. Right? But I clicked Earthquake. Here I should have clicked Rapid Spin because then I get away the rocks. I get away my rocks. And I get +1 speed for free. Meaning that I speed tie Ruffles because I'm at 16 speed. I'm not at 17. And he has max 16. So we would have speed tied here, which means that I have a chance to combat him. And I would have gotten rocks on the field. Huge mistake by me. I realized it the second I saw Ruffalo coming in. I was like, fuck, that was a free Rapid Spin. But it's fine. It's fine. It's not the most crucial mistake here. But it was huge. Okay, so I go in with neutralizing gas to take the rocks damage because I know that if he doesn't have hustle or sheer force, then his attacks are, and I'm physically defensive, his attacks are going to do nothing against me. Look how much this aerial ice did. It did 26% damage. That's nothing. That's stab. Neutral. That's nothing. So I'm thinking like I can just sit here, I can pain split. I was looking at his health, like who can I, if he goes into Elekid here, my pain split is going to be trash. But he went into something that's full health, so I got the pain split off of that, just a little damage and a little heal for me. I kind of regret not having Will-O-Wisp, but he probably had Shed Skin or Moxie either way, so it's fine. Here I'm kind of like in a disadvantageous position because he thinks he can get free Dragon Dances, and this is like an anti-setup coughing moment because I have Clear Smog on this, so we just remove those and we can just keep going. But he has knockoff there to take away my Eviolite, and I just Clear Smog him again, get him to 48%, and then he goes Zen Headbutt, which is going to take out my coughing, right? Here I go into Jupiter because he's super effective against Pawniard, and even though I outspeed him with Drill Burr, I kind of just don't want that to happen yet. Maybe that wasn't a bad play after all, you know? I could have gone there as well. But then he could just go Rufflet again, and it would have been all kinds of stuff. So here, if I click Webs here, it's going to be like, I already with my 2 remaining mods that are valuable, I already outspeed. I have 16 speed on this, and I have 16 speed on this. So we outspeed Scraggy, we outspeed unboosted Squirtle, we outspeed Nosepass, we do not outspeed Rufflet, but Sticky Web isn't going to affect Rufflet because it's flying type, and like Elekid is kind of a problem, but at the same time we can deal with it, you know. So I didn't want to just Sticky Web just for that, because then this would have been alive for the other 2, and he could have swapped this out and saved it for later. He could have just gone Rufflet, and then my Drill Burr is kind of in a disadvantageous position because I have to click Rock Slide on the switch in, or I have to tank the move, which I probably don't. I like a Brave Bird or something like that, or Aerial Ace Hustle, you know. I probably just die, or I take a lot of damage, and this is still alive in the back. So we just trade here. He goes for knockoff, so he takes away my Cobra Berry that I had for Rufflet, and let's be honest, at this health, I'm not tanking anything, so my item was really valuable there. But I get the Scald off, and this is where I was really scared of him going in the Squirtle, because now I'm thinking, shit, he gets a free Shell Smash and the game is over. But I have Power Split, which means that if he raises his stats, I can just kind of take those and absorb those stats so he doesn't go that high. But then he clicks Rock Tomb, and I'm thinking, oh my lord, I'm glad we didn't have to deal with all that. And And then I have a free switch in to either Pawnyard or Drillbur. And I'm thinking, this is 16 speed, this is 16 speeds. We outspeed him either way. But, you know, this was a moment for him to either go Rapid Spin or Shell Smash if he had it. Because he could have had +1 speed for both of them. He could have Aura Sphere this and he could have Scalded this, and that would have been the game here. But he didn't. And I was like, okay, you actually give me a chance to come back into this game. So either I go into Pawnyard and I knock off and he sacks the Squirtle, and he goes into Rufflet, or he goes into Nose Pass, right? And then he just tries to click like Rock Smash or Earthquake, something like that. Or I go into Drillbur and I kill this, and then if he goes into Rufflet, we're in the position that I can threaten with a Rock Slide, stuff like that. So I go into Drillbur. I think that was a better play, because having the switch into Steel type is better. Looking at the board. So yeah, I click Earthquake here, and I'm thinking, okay, so he tanks this Earthquake, because I think he has Eviolite. He tanks this Earthquake, he Scalds me, and he Aura Spheres me, and I'm done, right? But Earthquake does... This is Eviolited Adamant Earthquake, okay? Max attack Adamant, and I think it only killed because it was Adamant. But it just shattered Squirtle, and that told me right away that he was not Eviolite, because he would have lived this. So Earthquake just demolishes him, and I'm thinking, okay, I actually have a good chance of winning here, because he was going to go Rufflet either way after the Squirtle kill on both of them. And I'd rather be in this than in that, because if he clicks Superpower and I switch into this, he can just do it again, and I'm dead. While here, he's not likely to click Superpower because it won't kill, and he'll be at minus defense, and I can kill him, and then the game is over on my end, right? So Drillbur was the better play before. So let's see what I do. I want to click Rock. Want to click Rock Tomb here. No, Rock Slide to kind of like do solid damage. So this can kill with Sucker Punch, and then it can kill with Sucker Punch, and then it can live a hit or like go first Iron Head or knock off. And then it can kill, it can just 1v1 this and win, right? That's my thought. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm buffering the Rock Slide here to get the damage, but he crits me, man. He just straight up crits me, takes out my entire Drillbur, because I would have lived that. I calc this. I would have lived this. I would have lived this. Where's the Rufflet? Because I knew based from earlier calcs that he was Scarf and not banned, and he used Aerial Ace. Look, Aerial Ace does 81 max. I was at 90. I was at 92. So if you put a crit on this, suddenly it's a guaranteed kill. Like, Jesus Christ, that crit mattered. That crit mattered so hard, because Pawnyard would have been able to sweep this. Yeah, I live that. It's alright, it's alright. So I take the Stealth Rock damage. He switches out into Elekid. I'm thinking like, yeah, because he's locked into Aerial Ace. I'm thinking, okay, he switches into Elekid. He sacks Elekid. I kill Elekid. He comes back in with a free choice of moves. And then he clicks Superpower, and then it's GG, right? So I click Knock Off, get off his Life Orb. On the switch, he comes into Rufflet, and I'm thinking Superpower, and it's done. So I click Sucker, because I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to get the damage off, because if I live this the Superpower, or if I can crit with Sucker Punch, then I have a chance, right? Because he's just gonna Superpower me. So I was just banking on a crit Sucker Punch. My mistake there, however, was to go. I should have just gone Knock Off, in case he didn't have Superpower, because if I live, then I knock off his Scarf, and then I just Sucker Punch for the win, right? So that was the play there. So I click Sucker Punch. He clicks U-turn. He doesn't click Superpower. He clicks U-turn, and I live that. I live that comfortably, just so you know. So if I click knockoff there, he would have gotten his U-turn off first. I would have taken this damage, and nose pass would have come in and took that knockoff damage. And U-turn does 53, so he could have just done it again. But then that, you see now that, yeah, it was hard. So he would have been a full HP. He would have probably won there. The thing that killed me was probably the crit on Drillbur, to be honest, because if I had that alive, then this situation here wouldn't have arisen, to say the least. So yeah, nose pass comes in. I click Iron Head, and that was just like a hard Iron Head too. Like, it should have been knockoff twice there. It should have been, but whatever. Because I was very confused that he didn't have superpower, and that kind of threw me off very hard. And then he had Berry Juice, and then he clicks Earth Power, and I have Shucka Berry, but it kills me still. So that's the game. I lose 2-0. Looking back, Shucka was not the right item on Pawniard. I misplayed with the rapid spin on Drillbur very hard. I should have preserved Hippopotamus more and sacrificed Coughing earlier instead. But other than that, it was a good battle. I learned a lot, and that's the main takeaway from this. I learned a lot, and I'm very happy for that, because this is a tier I haven't played in a while. I haven't played since the last season, and I'm always happy to play LC. It's my favorite tier. So we have a lot of the season left. It's just one loss. We can recuperate from here and bring it back. So if you cheer for your Oslo City Swabluroonies, make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow up for more team builders and battles. I'm gonna try to get some other coaches on this and post some of their content as well. That would have been super nice. We'll see about it, but for now, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.